I think most people are familiar with the concept of interseeding into corn and the great benefits that can accrue by having companion crops growing underneath the corn canopy. But we thought, why should corn have all the fun? Let's try it with soybeans as well. Hey everybody, I'm Keith Burns with Green Cover Seed, and this agronomy update is brought to you by the Nebraska Soybean Board. We're out here in our test plots near Bladen, Nebraska, south central part of the state, and we're in an irrigated soybean field. And we wanted to try something a little different this year, so we did interseeding into some soybean plots. Now everybody's pretty familiar with interseeding into corn, with lots of good growth going on underneath that canopy, but it's much more difficult to do in soybeans for a couple of reasons. Number one, soybeans actually have a much denser canopy than corn does, so there's less sunlight hitting the ground. And number two, when we harvest these soybeans, we've got to take everything. So whatever I'm growing here as a companion crop is going to go through the combine as well. So those present some challenges, but we wanted to try it anyway. So we got this idea to interseed these companion crops or these cover crops into soybeans, actually from one of our customers up in Minnesota. He was an organic farmer. He was doing mustard in with his soybeans, and then he was rolling that mustard down, but he was having really good success with that at helping control the weeds in between the soybean rows. So that kind of inspired us to try this. So what we did this year is we took a couple of small plots and we did several different cover crop mixes. This one that I'm standing in right here is a 5-way mix. It had oats, rye, flax, buckwheat, and mustard. And we planted that when the soybeans were about 5 to 6 inches tall. And these are in 30-inch rows. So we let the cover crops grow, and we just recently sprayed it out. And so you can see most of the cover crops are dead now. So we don't think there's going to be any harvest issues at all because all this material will be dead and brown going through the combine. But what we noticed is that early on, these plots had far fewer weeds than the rest of the field. And we think that's because the flax and the buckwheat and the mustard especially got going right away and was really outcompeting the weeds in between these 30-inch rows. And also the buckwheat and the flax and the mustard were flowering, and we saw more pollinator and beneficial insect activity in this area of the field than in the area that had no cover crops. We don't think that there's going to be any yield differences. Visually, it doesn't look any different than the rest of the field, but we'll see. The combine will tell the story as to whether or not it's working. One last thing, the mustard is a high glucosinolate. Glucosinolate is a chemical compound that is really good at controlling nematodes. And so we're very interested to see, with having mustard in these plots, if there would be the potential of having less soybean cyst nematode issues where we would do something like this. So again, experimental, we're learning along with everybody else. We'll let you know what we find out. Thank you for watching this agronomy update brought to you by the Nebraska Soybean Board.